Puff Daddy, Diddy, P. Diddy's momentous and controversial trial. The rapper and one of the titans of music production, he is one of the most famous and powerful figures in the American music and entertainment industry. Recently, Diddy was incarcerated and is now awaiting trial. From the very beginning of his music career, he has been a very notorious person, but all these years he has managed to somehow evade the law. Diddy entered the music industry at a very young age, and at the age of 24, he founded his own music company called Bad Boy Records. At that time, in the 90s, there were two famous music labels in America. One was the same Bad Boy Records, and the other was Death Row Records, which belonged to the West and East Coasts of America, respectively, and they had a great deal of enmity with each other. At first, these hostilities had the character of a healthy competition for the East and West, but very quickly these rivalries became dangerous and even deadly, and several people who were in the middle of these disputes were even murdered. The very famous rappers who were murdered were people like Tupac, Shakur, and Biggie Smalls. And since the late 90s, it was rumored that Diddy played a fundamental role in the murder of these two. Throughout Diddy's professional life, he has been sued several times, but he has always either been acquitted in some way or the plaintiff has withdrawn their complaint. One of these lawsuits was related to a shooting at a nightclub in which 3 people were injured. P. Diddy and his girlfriend Jennifer Lopez were arrested for this shooting, but were ultimately acquitted and released. Since this recent trial of Diddy began, people have become very suspicious of Jennifer Lopez, and generally of those who attended Diddy's famous parties. It is not at all unlikely that if P. Diddy is found guilty, more than half of Hollywood will also be accused. When Diddy was 38 years old, he signed a contract with a 19-year-old singer named Cassie Ventura, and from the very beginning, he had a controlling and possessive attitude towards this girl, and in a way, forced the girl to enter into a relationship with him. They were in a relationship for about 10 years, but from the looks of it, the relationship was forced on Diddy's part. Apparently, he was constantly threatening this girl that if she did not obey Diddy, he would destroy her entire career and life. Apparently, he was forcibly giving her drugs and had not compensated her, and many times when he forcibly gave her drugs, he would force her to have relations with many men, and he himself would watch and enjoy it. These parties would often last for several days, and he would film all of them, and this girl's condition at the end of these parties, after a few days, would be so bad that they would have to give her an IV. In recently discovered evidence, there were many more girls and boys who, like Cassie Ventura, were victims of these parties. And he was constantly threatening this girl that if you don't participate in these parties, you have no right to produce any music. A video was leaked from the hallway of a hotel in 2016 that shows this girl running away and P. Diddy going after her and brutally beating her. Diddy paid a hefty sum of money to the hotel officials not to leak this video. And finally last year this video was leaked, and this very video was the beginning of P. Diddy's downfall. Finally, 2 years later in 2018, Cassie Ventura managed to escape from P. Diddy. Now, 5 years later, in November 2023, Cassie Ventura sued P. Diddy in court with this same leaked video. She accused Diddy of physical and emotional abuse and sexual assault. She also accused him of forcing her to use drugs and to have forced sexual relations with multiple men. She even accused Diddy of attempting to murder several people, including a woman whom Diddy grabbed by her ankles and dangled from the 17th floor of a building. After this lawsuit by Cassie Ventura, 3 other people found the courage and sued P. Diddy. All 3 of these people were underage, and they accused Diddy of giving them drugs and sexually assaulting them. Finally, in March 2024, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security raided P. Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles to investigate this case of abuse and sexual assault. In this raid, the police managed to obtain countless pieces of evidence against Diddy, including a large number of films and videos and recorded materials. In this raid, the police found about 1,000 bottles of baby oil and a large number of sex toys. Finally, P. Diddy was arrested on September 16, 2024, in New York City. And if found guilty, he will be in prison for between 15 years and life. Since Diddy's arrest, 120 men and women have filed complaints against him, 25 of whom are underage. The youngest plaintiff against Diddy is a 9-year-old child who has sued him for sexual assault. Now there are 2 very important rumors, one of which is about the famous singer, Usher. When he was only 13 years old, the 22-year-old Diddy took him under his wing. And there is a rumor that Diddy sexually assaulted him for 4 years. Another important rumor is about Justin Bieber, who was discovered by Usher when he was only 13 years old. Usher also introduced Justin Bieber to Diddy and took him to his house while Justin's parents were not with him, and he was alone. There are many rumors that Justin Bieber was also sexually assaulted by Diddy. But he himself has spoken about this and denied these rumors, but he repeatedly attended Diddy's strange parties before he reached the legal age. P. Diddy's defense against Cassie Ventura in court. On the opposing side, we have Diddy's lawyers, who are among the most professional and best lawyers currently in all of America. Their defense is that the relationship between Cassie and Diddy was a very toxic, passionate, yet loving one, and they say this relationship is a case of domestic violence and is not related to sex trafficking. His legal team admits that Diddy was a very violent person and also used drugs. But they consistently try to show that this violence was mutual, that the girl also committed acts of violence, and that overall it was a very tumultuous, reciprocal relationship full of jealousy and infidelity. Diddy's legal team says that although Cassie was 17 years younger than P. Diddy, she was not a naive or sheltered girl. From the very beginning, she had money and had relationships with powerful men like Tommy Mottola, the CEO of Sony. This Tommy Mottola is Mariah Carey's ex-husband, and they say that before meeting and befriending Diddy, Cassie had experience with men much older than herself, and even when she wanted to become friends with Diddy, she had a boyfriend who was a music producer named Ryan Leslie, and she cheated on him. Similarly, they say that when she was with Diddy, she cheated on him with other men. Diddy was very suspicious and jealous of many men active in the music industry, such as Chris Brown, Kid Cudi, and Michael B. Jordan, and he always thought Cassie was cheating on him with them. On the other hand, they say Cassie herself was a very jealous woman and was very envious of Diddy's relationship with Kim Porter, the mother of his children, and her aspiration and effort was to be P. Diddy's official girlfriend. Diddy's legal team showed some texts in which Cassie tells Diddy that she loves him very much and is waiting for them to have another freak-off party. And in these texts, Cassie says she wants to do these parties for the rest of her life. Diddy's lawyers say these freak-off parties and sexual relations were all consensual and, in fact, this was Diddy's lifestyle as a rock star. His lawyers say that Diddy did not prevent Cassie from pursuing a singing career. They say, in fact, the only reason a budding singer like Cassie was able to collaborate with famous singers like Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, and Pusha T is because she was Diddy's girlfriend. Diddy's team's lawyer says that Cassie didn't become a famous singer because she herself lacked the talent. They say the numerous infidelities Cassie Ventura committed have continued in her current relationship with her husband. This was while Cassie's husband was also sitting in the courtroom. Diddy's lawyers referred to a night when Cassie was FaceTiming her husband, Alex Fine, while she was in bed with Diddy, and they say Cassie suffers from addiction outside of her relationship with Diddy, and one of the biggest reasons she started this lawsuit is her financial problems and addiction. Now, what's your opinion? Do you think Diddy might get away with it? To continue following the trial, subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Come to the next video.